All right. Feeney Talks with Friends, episode 95. We're in a special place with a special friend. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Eric. What's going on?
We're at Float41. Exhale.
Exhale.
I know. I'm very excited to be here. We're on 17 Shunpike Road in Cromwell, Connecticut. How's it been?
It's going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Float41 Exhale is location number 2. So we are 3 months old. So we are in the newborn baby phase. So it's going.
Yeah, you gave me a quick tour. This place is beautiful. I love the painting and the architecture and so many rooms and so many new cool things that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And possibly explore on video. Stick around to the end.
Ooh, exciting. Big things happening.
Big things. Like I said, my name is Eric Feeney. I use this podcast, Feeney Talks with Friends, and I talk to wonderful people in the community that are doing great things. And today, Sarah LaTeano does wonderful things. As you heard, this is her second location of the float. Can you explain what a float is to our audience?
Yeah, flotation therapy. So it's also called reduced rest, so reduced environmental stimulation therapy, aka floating. So a float tank is a big oversized bathtub filled with 10 inches of water, but saturated with 1,100 to 1,400 pounds of Epsom salt. So you just float effortlessly like this on only in 10 inches of water in body temperature water. And so what it is it's just reducing the stimulation around you. So you're completely supported. There are lights and music in the tank, but the idea is that you reduce the input into your nervous system so that you feel comfortable enough to turn the music off, to turn the lights off, and completely unplug and turn that fight or flight sympathetic nervous system response off.
Yeah, I've done it.
You just float.
It's amazing. I highly suggest it to all of our listeners and viewers. It's an amazing thing. I've done it multiple times, 60-minute to 90-minute, lights on, lights off, music on, music off, with the donut flotation device for my big, heavy kickball head, sometimes with it, sometimes without it. I float in the I, the T, the Y.
All of the positions.
You can just put your body in its most natural state. It arches your back and your neck. I feel that's the most in my neck. Mm-hmm. Do you explain why?
Yeah, so it's like a zero gravity environment. So the Epsom salt, we use the salt not so much for the benefits of the salt, but to create that buoyancy in that environment for the body to be completely supported. It just like hugs you, and it's spinal decompression a natural way. So there's no gravity. And so a lot of times, gravity is what all of our ails come from. But when you are floating like this, your body's able to decompress and go into the position that it feels most natural in, which at first can feel very unnatural because of the way that we carry ourselves. We're hunched over at computers, or the most common one, right? We live like this, so our neck is just always like that. And so it really just helps support you naturally to get into the position that you want to. So that's one of the benefits there is and the zero gravity allows all those little muscles that are in your everywhere just to stop holding on, stop supporting gravity, and just let go and get relief. So a lot of these little aches and pains, you come out of the tank and they're just gone because your body gave them permission to let go.
Yeah. Honestly, I got out, I felt taller. Yeah. I showered before, then I showered at the end. I'm like, oh, shower head's like taller, like it stretched me out.
They do say you're a little taller in a float.
Oh,
yeah.
They do?
Yeah, because you're just decompressing everything.
Yeah, like open up my spine or something, or
it's fascinating.
Pretty good stuff. Good stuff. What inspired you to start the float?
It was our calling. Float came into my life at a very critical moment, or moments or season, I guess, in my life. It was first discovered a float tank in 2018, couple years into a season and journey of just crazy amounts of stress and work. I myself was in the military. I was in the Air Force for 17 years. So a very, very successful, crazy career. My husband had a very crazy career, 2 little kids. And so just, a small family that was just going too fast, too hard, right? Through all the things. And, you're not meant to go 1,000 miles an hour. You're not meant to work 24/7 at a very elevated fight or flight state. And when you live there for so long, your body starts to break down. And for me, a result of that was a lot of very significant health concerns directly related to my lifestyle and the stress. And so then that, fed into anxiety and, my mental health was really in a bad place, but nobody knew, right? Because you go to work, you put a smile on your face, you have a job to do, a mission to do, and you just do it. And so through all of my journey, I had tried many things to help that. But when you don't have any time, when you don't have any resources, when you just have to push through a family life, work life, it becomes a lot. And then being in the military, there's also, certain things that you just keep to yourself, right? They are changing the scope of that and it is very, very open, accepting. But just when you're in there, like, I'm fine, right? I'm just, and that's what I told myself is I'm just doing my job. But when I'm sitting at my computer screen, just crying all day, every day, or just, crying on the way to work or crying on my way home, like, what's wrong with me? And the answer is nothing's wrong with you. You're just dysregulated, right? The nervous system revs up to fight or flight when it needs to, but then it needs to come back down to complete homeostasis. And that doesn't happen. So that whole burnout and, just being run down, but then it fed into very, very significant health concerns for me. And my husband had heard about floating on a couple podcasts, and he read about a place up in Northampton, Massachusetts. So there's one very memorable day where I broke, right? After breaking and getting back up, and I broke and I didn't think I'd get back up. And he said, that's it, let's go. And we drove up to Northampton and I cried the whole way up there. And we floated for 60 minutes. And that moment has forever changed my life, my husband's life, our family's life, everything that we're like put on this planet to do changed in that moment.
So cool. Great story. Did you guys do a combo float or a separate float?
No, we did not. They did not have double floats there. And honestly, if we would have gone to a place that had a double float, I don't think our experiences,
not at that time.
Our journey would not be here. When you are at that point, double floating has its place. I love it. We do it here all the time, but it's for specific reasons, severe claustrophobia, PTSD, autism, slight mobility issues.
I've done them both. I've done the walk-in. I've done the eggshell.
The orb, yeah.
I've done it, again, 60. I've done 90. I've done solos, and I've done partner or combos. It's great. My wife enjoys the combo. She said she could relax a little more knowing I was there. I guess it's weird to say, but...
That's good. For me, my nervous system was just overstimulated and shot that I just needed to turn off everything in my body. And turning it off for those 60 minutes, I came out. I didn't have a vice on my chest. I didn't feel like I was going to puke 24/7, right? That's how I lived my life, because there are messages from your body saying, hey, hello, what you're doing is not okay and unsustainable. And so in that moment, I felt this sense of hope, right? That there was hope of a better way and a different way to live. And I used to say that floating saved my life. Right? I've learned to reframe that through my journey of the float tank didn't save my life. The float tank was an environment that gave me the fill and space to do the hard work that I needed to do on myself that I'm still doing, right? Healing is a journey, and it's a forever journey of healing and progressing and learning and evolving. So it's my space for me to do what I need to do. So it's not the tank itself. The tank is nothing special. It's water and salt heated to the temperature of your skin, but it creates that environment that is so important for the nervous system and body and mind to do what it knows how to do.
Wow. Yeah, that's inspiring. I got some tank words.
Words.
Well, before we go over to tank words, I want to thank you. Well, I was going to talk about the first time we met or thank you, but I want to thank you. You have donated so many gift cards to our raffles and have completely made our raffles exciting and engaging, and people love to win the floats. And you've helped us earn a lot of money at our events, so I can't thank you enough. You're a good friend. So I just want to say that. 2, the first time we met, I was wearing my Army cargo pants. My first chamber meeting ever, and we were sitting next to each other, and you were like, hey, those are Army cargos. I'm in the military too.
The real Army cargos, right? You know,
I had
there's
the
a
real
difference
ones
from what you can buy at the store. That's how I knew, right?
That's right. That's right. They were my
real
BDU pants that I cut, had altered, took the patches from the chest, put them on the cargos.
Yep.
Totally like, I saw someone do it, so I was like, I got to copy that. That's a great idea
really cool.
for the summer. Like you cut your BDU pants or your fatigues or BDUs, battle dress uniforms, and then you put your name tag, your U.S. Army and your Feeney on the cargo patches, and you noticed right away. So, and then we've been connecting ever since. And again, I can't thank you enough.
It's been a pleasure. I mean, what you're doing for the community is amazing, and you know that's why we opened this place, is to be embedded in the community, to help make this world a better place, one float at a time. You know, you just spread kindness, right? Be a good friend, right? That's what this world needs. So, you know, why you do it to help kids, like it's why all humans should be here, right? You know, take a little bit of kindness and spread it into the world, and it just spreads like wildfire, you know, and everybody needs some kindness.
And I guess improving people's mental health is also like being a good friend, right? Because you're making, our motto, be a good friend, pick up trash, hold the door, give a compliment, be charitable. So you do all that with a float. Or a soak. No, Sarah doesn't like that word. It's new terms.
People have been saying the word soak. We don't soak here. I don't know. It's weird to me.
All right, we got float words.
All right,
so what does it mean to take a break?
Hit the pause button.
Hit the pause button. Decompress.
Hit
the pause button.
Hit the pause button. I don't know. Turn it off, right?
Ooh. Nothingness.
It's beauty right there.
Beauty.
It's beauty.
Clear and empty mind. Am I saying all the words, or are you going to say some words?
No, those are, am I supposed to read these? Is that what you want me to do?
Oh, maybe you give me like what it means to you.
Oh,
Oops,
okay.
Maybe I didn't explain the game
right. I don't know.
All right, what's it mean to you?
Yeah. Well, I think I was following in on that.
Sorry.
But clear, empty mind, I was like,
That one was more than
nothingness
one word.
is beautiful to me.
All right, I like that one. Back to nothingness.
Yes, that's beautiful.
When I heard this word, I thought like the phones. Oh my goodness, the phones, the emails, the texts. So that 1 hour or 90 minutes, 60 or 90, if you're in that tank, what is it? Deprivation chamber or...
Yeah. Reduction. The old school term is deprivation, sensory deprivation.
Sensory deprivation. But it's just like, even hearing, I'm an elementary school teacher. I hear Mr. Feeney 100 to 200 times a day.
Yeah.
So sometimes I just need a float. Or my kids, you know, when I ask my kids, hey, what are you doing today? And she says, your mom,
beautiful.
You know, it's like, I need that nothingness sometimes.
We're plugged in 24/7, and it's not the way we were designed. So we need silence. We need nothingness, right?
So back to the clear and empty mind.
Yeah, same.
Oh, sensory deprivation.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that is floating. That is just, it's now sensory reduction. So, you know, the thought back in the day was that we were depriving our brains and nervous system of the input. And if we do that, does it turn off? What happens? But now we have the technology to take a look at what's happening to the brain and nervous system. And the truth is, when you unplug and reduce and remove the input, your whole nervous system and brain light up. It's pretty beautiful.
Like, there's something when you scroll, some people, they scroll for 300 feet of content.
Mm-hmm.
The length of a football field.
Yeah.
You're scrolling.
In one sitting,
in one, in your neck, and then you're scrolling. So you need that, you know, no sound, no light, and no gravity.
They call it doom scrolling, right? Like it's, you know, you're just feeding your brain this signal, and it's these tiny spurts of dopamine, tiny, that don't even do anything. And so you need that hit. So you keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And it's just draining.
It's like the casino, like the jackpot. What's coming up next? Scroll.
Right.
How about Steph Curry and Tom Brady? Fun facts.
Yes, they are avid floaters and they love it. We can now talk about them floating for a while. Nobody knew, but Tom Brady owns one of the float tanks in his house, and
He
they
owns
have
one in the
them.
house.
Yeah, and they all have them in their locker rooms and stuff. Steph Curry loves it. Tom Brady is a fantastic example of floating for visualization and the mechanics, right? You can rewire your stress response system. What's happening to a quarterback, right? There's a whole team trying to tackle them to the ground and take the ball away. And to be able to do that under pressure of all those people running, all of the people in the stands, but guess what they're able to do? Find that flow state, right? Get into that deep visualization. Movies do a great depicting that, right? Everything blurs and it just hones in. And that's the flow state, right? That is you going in and just flowing through it, and you can actually train that. And the float tank is a great place to do that. You can take your visualization into a float tank. So it's not only your physical recovery, all of those benefits, but it's really here training your mind and your nervous system to rewire that stress response system. And so those are great examples of people that love to float.
Steph Curry, can't beat him. Oh, disconnection.
Yeah, everybody, you need to disconnect to reconnect, right? What happens when our cell phones or computers start acting funny? We turn them off. We unplug. We put them back in, and everything just starts to work better. We're the same way. We would never let our cell phones run out of battery, so why do we let that happen to us?
Excellent point. That's my IT skills. Oh, it's not working? Unplug it and plug it back in. Router,
how often does that work?
Oh, man. Like a champ.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan. Who's a better
Inadvertent.
podcaster, Eric Feeney or Joe Rogan?
I love Friends with Feeney. Eric Feeney is fantastic.
But all right, so Joe Rogan also does the float.
Yep. He's a big floater, big component of it. He is how we initially
And he
heard
loves the
about
sauna,
floating.
too.
He loves the sauna. He loves all the things. He talks about cold plunging as well. Yep. He is indirectly responsible for a huge portion of this modern day float boom. Floating's been around commercially since the 70s. It was invented in the 1950s by a gentleman named Dr. John Lilly. And then he worked with a couple named Glenn and Lee Perry to create the first commercial float tank, which was called a Samadhi float tank. And Joe Rogan, he has a float tank and he's a big component of it. But that's how we heard about it. And so there's this modern day
2018
shift.
Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah. Yep. Well, before then, it was 2018 when we
What
decided to
podcast
get
was
into it.
Who was his guest?
I don't remember because he would talk about it quite frequently
many.
with different people.
Yep.
Yeah. So we had just my husband would listen to him a lot, and I started listening to him, and he would talk about it it would come up randomly in a lot of different podcasts.
Oh yeah, he talks about it a lot.
But he had
and the cold plunge comes up a lot.
Yep. He's had quite a few key people in the industry on there that talked about it.
He has a great one about sleep. A doctor talks about sleep and how the importance of sleep. Relaxed but energized.
It's amazing. Recharge your battery.
Recharge
That's
that
what
battery.
we all need, right?
Empty mind, improve focus.
Very important.
And if I were to write one down, what would you write? Did I miss any?
Solitude.
Solitude, that's a good one.
Listen to the silence. You unplug from the world, right? We've all learned to listen to others. Everybody else around us has the answers. Solitude's not scary. Go in the solitude, listen to the silence. You have the answers, right? They're here. You clear the noise, you know what to do. So if you're struggling, if you've got issues with life, or if you just want to figure out what's next for me, or what do I do, or if you have any conflict, or if you have any problem solving, get into a float tank. Think clearly, right? Before you get into an argument, hit the pause button. Say, hey, I got to float on this, right? We'll circle back around. It takes you out of that fight or flight response, allows you to think about it, mull it over without that emotional charge next to it, so that you can see it through a different lens. And Yeah. Solitude's everything.
Yeah, so many different, physically, mentally, there's so many benefits of floating. I'm a huge friends of Float41, and I'm a huge friends, and I recommend it. I highly recommend it, because again, I got so much stuff going on. Dad, husband, teacher, nonprofit, JCC basketball star, stuff like that. It's like I just need to turn it off and in.
Yep.
Again, ups, you can rotate your hands. It's just amazing. Float, just the posture and everything. All right, so I'm going to ask you 3 keys. So we have sponsors. Let's thank some sponsors. Number 1, Direct Line Media. Dave, this is episode 95. I'm honored to be speaking with you. This is a long time. I wanted you to be top 10. That's how long I've been trying to get you on a guest. You were going to be in the top 10. But now
I was a pandemic business. It was tough. Open and
but I'm
close
glad
by
you're
myself.
here.
I'm glad I finally made it. Episode
Very
95.
excited. 95. We got some 95 questions coming up next. Brooke Goff, Keating Agency, the Fix IV. You should do a collaboration with the Fix. You get the Fix shot and then you float.
Yeah.
The
Aaron's
Fix and
awesome.
a float.
I would love that.
Luna Pizza, Donut Crazy, Weehaw Roasting and Brewing, and the Parkville Market. You ever go to Parkville Market? Yeah, and People's Bank. People's Bank is a great spot too. So People's Bank, all my wonderful sponsors of our podcast. And last but not least, West Hartford Lock. So with that being said, what are 3 keys that make you great at owning a float business? What are 3 important keys of owning a business like this?
Having the passion for it. This is a grueling business. This is not a business that you just say, hey, I'm going to open up a float place, right? You have to have the most successful businesses out there start with a passion, right? Any business owner will tell you it is so grueling. And if you don't have that passion, you're going to burn yourself out. So you need that. So passion, support. Support is everything. Support from a family. We are a family business through and through. My husband designed and built these. My kids, built them. They helped pick out every furnishing in here. And so support's everything. Support from the community. We wouldn't be here without, people like you and, being able to spread the word and just having that support. The chamber's amazing. Just the local small business community in West Hartford is strong, in Cromwell. So support is everything. So let's see, passion, support, and what's the other key? Just community, right?
Yeah.
The people, the love, kindness, I guess.
Yeah. Those are all great.
You need kindness. So kindness is everything. You lead with kindness. You show everybody kindness. They feed it back. I need this place and everybody that walks through this door just as much, if not more, as they need us and the float tanks. They fill my cup up every day. It's how I get up and go to work every day, is the people that I get to see and the stories, and just knowing that when they leave, they've left better than when they came in. And you can tell, they got smiles on their face, their shoulders are down. So I've sent somebody out a little better than when they came in. So that feeds my soul.
Yeah. If you could be anything in this world, be kind.
Be kind.
Let's cheers to that. Which one do you want to drink? We're going to drink some kombucha. And can you explain to everybody what kombucha is while we're drinking it?
So kombucha is a fermented tea. We have Cross Culture Kombucha, which is a local kombucha down in Danbury. So Ian and Liz made this. They are amazing people. And kombucha is a fermented tea. And so it's got live cultures in it. So it's really good for gut health. It's got probiotics in it, but it is non-alcoholic. So this one is a little bit more of a social kombucha. It's not fermented as long as a lot of the ones that you see in the store. So it doesn't have a lot of the same feels that other kombucha would. It's not as bitter, which means that it is just delicious and really good. And it doesn't have any of the added sugar in it. So a lot of things are not over fermented, but they're just different and they're really bitter. So they end up dumping fruit juice into it. And this is just amazing. So it's really good for you. It tastes delicious, but it's also a great option in a world surrounded by alcohol, right?
There's kombucha breweries now. I saw that, and kombucha social hours and
happy
they have
hours. Cross Culture has a tap room in Danbury, so it's a whole thing. You can go down there. We took our kids when we first started our journey of opening a float center. We went out to Portland, Oregon for a class, and they had kombucha on tap in their center, and I knew instantly that I wanted that, but there wasn't a place around until I came home and started searching, and then they had just opened. So I locked them in. I was like, oh my goodness. We went down there, tried it, and it's absolutely delicious.
Yeah, you have it on tap in West Hartford.
Yep, and they're around there.
And you have it canned in Cromwell.
Yes, we will get it on tap here. We're
2 taps in West Hartford, correct?
Yes. Yep, and the flavors are always rotating, and it's really delicious.
Come on, I'm like,
all right, let's
my
go.
Mouth is watering. All this good talk. Let's do it.
All right.
Kombucha.
Yeah, ready?
Cross Culture. Look at that pour.
Yeah. And if you pour this in a glass, it just looks great. It, foams up, fuzzes, and so it tastes delicious, but also it's something that you can bring somewhere and know that you're feeling like an adult. And cheers, eh?
Cheers to number 95, Float.
Thanks for having me.
Kombucha. It does have a wine smell, right? No? And it does something good for your stomach.
It does, yep. It's got those live cultures in it, so it helps to regulate the gut biome.
That's good. This one's good. I had a couple you're like, but this one?
They're bitter. And these are really light. So most people come into our centers and I'm like, would you like a cup of kombucha after your float? And they're like, no, I don't like kombucha. Hear me out. Just have a little taste.
Yeah.
And I've converted hundreds of people into liking kombucha now because this is awesome. So they're right in Danbury. They're amazing. And you can find them. They're on tap at Doro Marketplace. So you can go grab a cup there. They're
good old Dora.
Yeah.
No juice, not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
Vegan and gluten-free. Oh, it says do not shake. Why is that? Because there's enough bubbles?
That's
so
self-carbonating. So it, like a soda, it'll go everywhere.
Liz and Ian, you shouted them out. Shout out to Liz and Ian. Cool name, Boogie Down Black.
They're big
BDP.
90s hip-hop bands.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. They got their new tap room in Danbury. They got a boombox painted on the wall and everything. It's such a cool place. They do classes, but they have a whole non-alcoholic marketplace there. So it's just great options,
That's good stuff.
Yeah. I love it. My kids love it. It's so good.
Now, what can you compare it to? Is it like a diet drink, a protein drink, a cleanse? Is it a fermented and eating biomes? Has me thinking definitely health.
Yeah, it's definitely a healthy
benefits.
beverage. Liz will probably school me on this. But to me, I like it because of the health benefits, but I like it more because it's a social beverage that's healthy and good for you.
Gotcha.
So it's not high in sugar. It's not soda. It's not alcohol, right? A lot of times it's the art of the relaxation that we're after, right? I still drink a little bit, but kombucha has really come into my life and shown me that a lot of times I would reach for the glass of wine to help turn the day off, right? And a lot of times we think it's the alcohol relaxing us, but what we're looking for is that ritual, right? That ritual of pouring it, smelling it. It's like a texture. It's a whole texture sensory experience because the bubbles come up. If you pour it into a glass, it gets ahead. It looks like a beautiful IPA, and I sip on it, and it's just beautiful. And you realize that that's what's helping you relax, right? It's not the alcohol affiliated with it, but that's the slippery slope. And that's part of my journey, right? I would go home and want to turn everything off that I've been going crazy for 24/7. And, it's just a natural thing of one glass turns into a glass and a half that turns into 2 glasses. And, and this is a very, very common thing when you talk to people.
Mhm.
And so always having kombucha in my fridge has really helped me of just, I want to feel like an adult, right? You drink seltzer and water all day long. I don't like soda or anything like that. So it's just a nice option to sit down and have something to drink. It's that ritual we're looking for. Yeah, at least for me. So this has really, really helped me, and it's helped a lot of people as well, just to go and enjoy something. Pretty cool.
Cheers again.
So cheers, kombucha.
Let's talk about these beautiful mugs too. Those are awesome.
We are a family business through and through. My aunt in Maine is a potter and hand throws these, and she made them for me.
And then I want to just shout out some of my winners here. Thank you, Auntie. What's her name?
Mary Kay Spencer.
Mary Kay Spencer.
The Potter's House. Cheers.
Cheers again.
Here
cheers.
we go.
Luke and Lynn Booth, Greg Jewell, Rachel from Glastonbury, Nicole Oliver, Jim Miller, Jeff Brown, Rick Hertz. I played basketball with him. Landy Vernon, Deb Finnegan, John Scripp, Jason Ryan was our most recent winner. Jason Ryan's a good guy. He's going to be a podcast guest. He's a cardiologist, great guy. He's an NBA. He plays in the JCC.
Perfect. The NBA.
NBA, yeah, comparably.
Yeah.
And then John Scripp helped out he volunteered at the golf tournament. He played this year and he won, but he's in Natick, Mass. But he was really excited about winning.
I can't wait to go to the golf tournament one year.
Yeah, come on.
When we're not crazy in construction, right?
So it's good stuff. No, kombucha. And then I know we're talking a lot of float, but you have some really other exciting things here. What would you like to talk about more? The dip or a plunge or the sauna?
Well, we have an infrared sauna here. So infrared is a sauna that is not as hot as a traditional sauna, but infrared is invisible light. So it's a sauna that you sit in that this invisible light, it's exposed skin, and it's getting layers deep into the skin. So it's great for into the muscle. So inflammation, pain, muscle tension. It's been a game changer for me lately with my tension, headaches, and everything. Infrared sauna. So that's a standalone service or paired with the float tank because it helps induce that parasympathetic state. So it's just really, really nice. So that
do you
then
sit
when
or
you
stand?
get into you sit. Or the benches move out. You can do yoga in there. You can move. So it's a 2-person
Is it the one I
infrared.
just went? No, that's a regular sauna.
No, yeah. You were in the regular one, so it was right over here.
Oh, wow.
So it's a clear light. We went for a really high quality sauna there. But they say it can start to break up things in your body that have been there for a long time and kind of flush them out. So a little bit of a detoxification effect on it. Really good for your skin, and it's just really awesome. So that's the infrared sauna. But the main modality that we added here that we're super passionate about is contrast therapy. So that is the traditional sauna paired with the cold plunge tank. So we are the first people in Connecticut that are doing contrast therapy the way that we are doing it here.
Contrast therapy.
Yep.
Is that fire and ice or?
Fire and ice. Yep. We've named it fire and ice, but the official term is called contrast therapy. And contrast therapy can range different things of going from hot water to cold water, but we did it with a traditional sauna and a cold plunge tank.
Which one happens first?
The sauna. Yep. So the experience for one person is about 60 minutes. It is meant for 3 rounds through this contrast. So the contrasting is you go hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold.
So you do it a few times.
Yep. So usually about 8 to 15 minutes in the sauna. It's something you have to work up to as you kind of get used to the heat, but the sauna's hot. So it's about 180 degrees. So it's a traditional sauna. We have a beautiful Hume rock heater with a bucket of water and a ladle, and you can steam it up if you'd like. So you can make it a little more intense if 180 degrees isn't hot
You could
enough.
do 15 minutes in the sauna. You could do anything.
Yep. And so you do the sauna, you come out, and then you take a dip into our cold plunge tank.
And so the sauna's 180.
Yep.
What's the cold plunge?
About 48 to 50 degrees. So deliberate cold exposure is absolutely amazing. And anything under 60 degrees is really going to give you those amazing deliberate cold exposure benefits. The research happening right now is really awesome. And they say for optimal health and benefits, getting about 11 minutes a week of cold exposure is fantastic. And you can get that in many different ways. You can get in one session in our Fire and Ice cold plunge. You can do it in a cold shower. You can do it by running outside in the wintertime. It's just really incredible getting that cold exposure.
My friend, you just turn on the cold water at the end. And David Goggins, David Goggins?
I do.
Embrace the suck.
Embrace the suck.
Embrace, and it tenses you up too. It's something that with the tense. That's Jocko Willick, another guest on Joe Rogan. Jocko and David.
Have you listened to Good?
Oh, who's that?
By Jocko.
No.
Is
that his podcast?
Well, it's about a 3.5 minute clip, and I listened to it.
Oh, Good Enough.
Good, just Good. Listen, it's a story he tells about how. People in his unit would say, they'd come to him and say, with bad things and troubles, and he'd say, good. Right?
This is your challenge.
Right.
Yeah, you typed the whole paper and it got erased.
Yep.
Good.
Right?
Because this is going to make you stronger.
If life shows you adversity or if there's a challenge, good. Right? Change your mindset. I listened to that. I can't even tell you how many times.
Yeah, I know that one.
That's
like
really
Jocko.
good. Jocko's awesome. I listen to it a lot.
Shows his watch in the morning, 4:30, pile of sweat because he just worked out. He gets up at 4:30 to work out, and here I am.
Kid books too. My son read them. They're awesome.
I wrote to him because he's from Connecticut.
Yeah.
He lives in Torrington. I'm like, Jocko, come on, be a guest. Jocko, be a guest. Should Jocko be a guest?
Yeah, be a friend.
Be a good friend, Jocko. Yeah. Friends of Jocko.
Come do us on a cold plunge and be a good friend.
We can do it here.
Yeah.
He'll do the plunge. Yeah. He'll do the contrast therapy. Good. I like that one. Yeah, good. So you got the plunge. Oh, and you said something about dopamines. When you drink coffee, your dopamines last maybe 20 minutes. I'm making these numbers up. You probably know them more.
I don't know the caffeine coffee one, but it's.
But then if you do the cold plunge, it lasts 2 to 3 hours, or maybe half the day.
Upwards of 2 days.
2 days.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things coming out about dopamine. It's pretty awesome. I'm definitely not an expert. I just know I have a passion for it. But there's a lot of information out there that says the dopamine peak that you can get out of deliberate cold exposure can be somewhere of 250 times higher than baseline. And so it spikes you up and then slowly brings you back down. So there's no, deep corresponding trough with it. And so if you're in a trough, right, the only really thing that pulls you out of that is time, unless you get into cold water, right? Cold water is a physiological response, right? You've got those endorphins, that dopamine rush kicks in about 8 to 10 minutes after. And so by that point, you're back in the sauna for your second 15 minutes. And so once you're I'm never doing that cold again, all of a sudden that dopamine rush starts to kick in and your body's like, hey, I really like this. I think I can do that again. And so that second and third round are just magical. So the first round's hard.
I'm excited and nervous.
You're going to love it.
Stick around to the end. This is going to be a show and tell. I'm going to do the contrast therapy.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. We're going to have cameras, and I'm going to get cold plunge. I'm going to do the sauna. Sauna, I'm not so concerned about. Cold plunge, I'm just ready. My buddy Stads, he's a cop. He used to go in his recycling bin with ice and just sit there. And now he actually purchased something. Yeah. You see him I looked at one or two on Instagram or Facebook. Now I swear every day they're trying to get me to buy.
It's the plunge.
The plunge.
It's awesome.
This guy Eric from Viking, the CrossFit guy, he does plunges. You got to start your day with a plunge.
You have to.
Stads.
Yeah. It's so important. It's so easy, right? Once you do it. And it's something as simple as cold water can just change your day and change your outlook and just everything. And it's incredible. And if you don't have access to a tub or a recycling bin, take a cold shower or fill a bowl of water with ice and put your face in it, right? You know,
Yeah,
like,
just
and,
dunking your head sometimes
right,
works too.
just your face with, you know, calming the vagal nerve and just, you know, it changes everything. Just getting that initial dopamine rush can pull you out of somewhere and just change everything.
All right, let's play another game. It's called First, Last, Best, Worst. I don't know if we want to do plunges, floats, or like a mixture. You know, your first plunge or dip, your last plunge or dip, and your best plunge or dip. It's a storytelling game. Your first one we talked about, it was in Northampton with your husband after a very bad day.
Yep.
First one, life-changing. That's a fantastic story. We got to get the minute so we can pull that up and share that. That's going to be our pillared content when we share the episode. We're going to start that. It's new concept we're working on. We're going to pull that 30-second clip of you saying that. But that was your first one. Last one, when's the last float or dip? Did you dip today?
I did not dip today. I've been preparing for this podcast. I should have dipped today, but today is our preventative maintenance day. So we wanted to make sure that everything was in great working order and the salt wasn't eating everything. So my last float was 2 days ago, I think. And my last dip was, I think, the day before that. So it's just been, it's a crazy time of year right now. I'm here open and close by myself. So my practices aren't exactly what I would love them to be, but I'm working towards that. So
I know. Can you put a little closed for 20 minutes sign on the door and do your thing and then open it?
I could. Well, I was in the infrared sauna today for a little bit.
Okay.
So I did do
getting some therapy.
Some sauna work, yeah. Breaking up some muscle tension and just feeling better. But tonight I think I'm going to stay and do one of them. So
all right, so that's your last. One time I just found my thing. Like I just got there. It was like, and lights went on. Time was up. So it took me like 58 minutes.
Yep.
So the next floor I was like, I'm doing 90. Definitely. Yeah. So 90 from here on out for me.
That's what happens when you go too long, right? That happens to me a lot where I get in there in the first 50 minutes. For me, my ears are buzzing, right?
Yeah.
I'm just overstimulated. But regular floating is amazing.
Like,
it just works to, so that you don't get that far.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me too. You're like, Feeney, you got to make it more regular, and then your body gets used to it.
Once a year is not.
The best float I had, I was like, I was around the corner for getting my insoles or my feet looked at, my podiatrist. And I'm like, hey, I got some time. Is there a float available? Oh, you made my day. Yeah. You're like, come on over.
Come on in.
It was the best.
That was a good one?
Oh, so good. Because it was awesome. Like almost, I'm spontaneous. And I came by so relaxed. It was a great day.
Yeah, it was a great day.
Yeah.
I remember you saying you felt good.
Yeah. No, that was my favorite float.
Yeah. So
what's your favorite float?
Favorite float. I try not to talk about my floats too much just because everybody's journey is different. Everybody's nervous system is different and you interpret things differently. But one of the best ones that I had very, very early on is I was completely transported into a memory of mine. And it wasn't a memory. It was I was actually there. And because the brain, like your mind has it all there, right? And it was a memory of my grandfather and I sitting at a restaurant in Granby called Gio's. When I was working at the base full time, he actually worked at the New England Air Museum or volunteered there, right? He worked on all of the old planes. That's what he loved. And he loved taking me and touring it and meeting all of his buddies. But he would meet me for lunch. And, this one day we're sitting there and this really happened, but I was transported in there into my float. And he had sat me down because I was in my early 20s. I was crazy career, all of the things, just focusing it. And the point of the lunch was to sit me down and saying, hey, you need to slow down and you need to knock it off. You need to come around. Like, where have you been? You've been too busy, right? My grandmother missed me. Like, just kind of one of those tough love conversations of like, hey, like you gotta what are you doing? Right? This isn't you. And you're right. You just kind of get fast tracked into that. And so I was transported into my float, and his conversation was a little different. He had a spin, and it wasn't so much about my grandmother. It was about my husband's family. And and his grandparents. And so I took out of that, like, hey, like, we got to slow down, and we got to, take our kids and really, like, because at this point we had kids, right? When this story actually happened, I didn't have kids. And, it kind of pulls you out of that rat race, right? Of like, hey, what's important, right? So, we're crazy busy, but everybody has time to pick up the phone or pick up a pizza and go have dinner with your grandparents or your great grandparents in this fact, right? And, so I had that float, and we started doing some things, and then, some family members started having some real significant health concerns. So, like, to me, the timing wasn't anything to, ignore.
Yeah.
Right? So,
wow, it put you in a place.
It puts
that's
you in
a great
place.
float.
Yeah, it's a great float, and that will hold with me forever. We all get busy, managing and running 2 businesses and building it, and the kids and all the things. But we try every day to kind of slow down, and that's what's really important, right? Time and family, and what are all the things if you don't get time with your family. So that's what I really took out of it. And so, yeah, that was a great float for me.
My Stranger Things, 11 goes in water sometimes, and she transports, but that's not unrelated. Or that's kind of had a vision, but put you there.
Yeah, that's a good. I love that.
And AO was another Netflix show. She did something in water and superpowers and floated away. And
Stranger Things does a great job with it. Like, we really like that depiction of it because, or I do at least, they take a sci-fi approach to it, but it translates into, if you turn off all the input and noise around you, you can access a different part of you, right? So that's a sci-fi way of saying it was able to transport her to the upside down.
Mm-hmm.
But it translates into, hey, like, you can go deep into your subconscious and to who you really are, right? And we don't use nearly as much of our brain as we have the capability of, or, because there's too much noise. Our brains are just so focused on survival and keeping us alive. So that's such a great metaphor for, there are no monsters, but, we all have things we're battling, or we all have things that we need to work through. And so that's the processing that you can do to get into that place to really process and heal. And it's a great, I love it.
All right, good.
Yeah.
See, I don't feel so bad. It's like, oh yeah, Stranger Things.
No,
it's great. She definitely covers her eyes and puts herself, and then she's in this new realm.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It is cool.
I enjoy watching that with my daughter. My daughter Neela. All right, some numbers. I'm going to shout out some percentages. You tell me what they mean to you. 41.5%. It's from your website. 25%. All right, I'll give you a hint.
Yeah.
41.5% stress, anxiety, and depression.
That's 41% of all humans, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all, so many of us struggle with it.
And then 25% of Americans feel chronic pain. Correct. So this is good to unplug.
Yep.
30% of us struggle with sleep disruption. Mm-hmm. Yeah, floats are
These
great.
These are big numbers, right?
The night I floated, I had a crazy dream too. It really triggers something in your brain. So I felt taller, relaxed, and a crazy dream. Almost like I saw my grandfather, not family members were involved, and it was crazy. Yeah. So 60% of us need meditation. So float is like a meditation.
You can meditate in a float tank.
100% of sports injuries are recovered more quickly when a complementary treatment plan or a zero gravity environment. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady.
Stay healthy.
Oh, and this is a good one too. Focus and creativity. 75% is where you can improve your mental awareness and inducing an intense state of calmness that allows you to see things more clearly and get ready for competition or giving presentations or whatever may come next. Who wrote this on the website?
I had some help, but I had a lot of input in there.
Yeah, it was very cool. Very true.
It's true. I mean, it's floating can just help anybody with it, right? We're all humans with a nervous system. So we all deal with these modern day ails, right? Because again, we're overstimulating, go too fast, too hard. So just being put in that environment where your body can do what it was designed to do can really help a lot of these things, right? Will it cure it all? No, but it can definitely help have a better quality of life while you make the changes in your life that you need to get to the root cause of why you have chronic pain, why, we have anxiety.
And in 2021, you were featured in a national TV show called World's Greatest.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That was a lot of fun. It was really cool.
Maybe we'll share the link on this podcast about World's Greatest. That was really cool. I have that t-shirt. I'm so mad I didn't wear it today.
It's okay.
World's Greatest.
No, I love that shirt.
But you know what Saturdays are for?
For the friends.
Oh, see that? Guess what happened there? Does that ever happen to you?
Yes, all the time.
What do you think that is? The deodorant.
I
missed.
Mine is
or
salt.
went under.
Yeah, I've got salt. Same thing. I had to change my shirt because mine was covered in salt. It's just.
So episode 95. 95 was a good year. What grade were you in 95? How old are you? Were you in high school? No. No, you're not in high school.
I was 8.
You were 8? Bergen, too. I played 94. I'm like, oh, you guys are... You were in high school? He's like, no, in 94, I was like 6th.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So I was going to do songs in 1995.
I might be able to...
Another strikeout, 2 podcasts in a row. This is my heyday, 94 and 95. Great years of music. Oh, you guys are so young.
I might be able
You
to
and Bergen.
reminisce on some songs.
All right, come on. Who sings? Don't take it personal. It's just one of them days.
Oh.
You know that song? It's just one of them days. Oh, don't take it personal. I just want to be all alone.
Oh, no.
Monica.
Oh,
How about,
I just want to be all alone, but...
that's a good song. How about I got 5 on it? Oh, my goodness. How about, you know that one? How about a sweet fantasy baby? That's Mariah Carey. How about the song of the year in 1995? Gangster's Paradise?
Yes.
Who sings it?
Oh, so...
Coolio.
Okay, there you go.
How about I wish I was a little bit taller? I wish I was a baller. All right.
I know.
You know that one?
I know.
Skilo. Oh.
I'm not doing so good here.
Burn. This game
I
is...
wasn't allowed to listen to a lot of music.
This game. Thought I had something. 2 in a row. Struck out. Eric Bergen struck out too. You guys are just young. It's my bad. I should have known. Oh, it's the 1st of the month. Wake up, wake up. Oh, man. Come on. Who sings that? That's Bone Thugs and Harmony. Oh, okay. Moving on.
Fail.
We're not singing. We're reminiscing of great songs from 1995.
Bergen,
you failed in 1994.
We're going to start talking about NSYNC. I mean, then we can talk. But, there might be a
Bye,
reunion
bye,
tour.
bye.
Can we get that going on?
Yeah. All right. So let's do what time? How long is that float situation going to be? Am I going to do a round or 2? Or how long should I be in the sauna today?
In your contrast. So I was thinking doing...
Is the sauna
like
ready to go?
Yeah, it's all ready to go. So like 15 minutes in the sauna. Whatever you can stand in the cold plunge. Ideally... A good plunge is 2 or 3 minutes, working up to about max is 5. It's all about the breath, right?
I know.
You go in. Key is to fully submerge and just don't think. You just got to hop in and completely submerge, even your head. Yep. Grab the sides, go all the way under and come back up because that's going to, activate the vagal nerve and just, relax. And the people that struggle the most are the ones that
Tiptoe.
wait too long, tiptoe, and get into their ways. And like, I can't. But if you just, we can all do hard things, right? Get uncomfortable for a little bit. That's where the beauty happens, right? You have to get uncomfortable to grow.
You sound like Jocko. You sound like Joe Rogan right now.
I mean, it's true. It's true, right? You know,
you can do hard things. If I start my morning by plunging, then if I face a job interview, it won't be that so bad because I just plunged. Or if I just plunged and then I got a presentation in front of all my clients, it's all right because I just plunged. I could do anything.
You ate the frog, right?
Ate the frog.
You got this. It's all about the breath, right? You know, you might come up and, you know, slow, steady breathing, box breathing.
Can you coach me through
I can
on video?
Yeah.
You're going to record this? What camera are you going to use? One of these guys? That one. This camera, or this camera.
Whichever.
Tell them what you've been up to.
The camera?
That's from Hot Ones. Oh, it's a great day, Dill. Do you know what today is?
I do know what today is. It is a fabulous day. Happy birthday to Eric Feeney.
I'm so excited to be here.
I can't believe that you were here podcasting with me on your birthday. Like, how?
Why would I not want to spend my birthday with you? And I even donated a balloon because it's all the way up to the sky.
It's up in our vaulted ceilings.
Wonderful architecture.
Gonna stay there until Ryan comes with a big ladder.
You share a birthday cookie with me?
I would love a birthday cookie. Oh my goodness.
These are Be a Good Friend cookies. Happy birthday. When I had it.
Where did you get the cookies from?
This is from Will, my student Will. Thank you, Will.
Oh my goodness.
They were made this morning.
Birthday cookies.
Birthday cookies.
Whoa.
Stephanie, birthday cookie? Don't mind if I do.
Yeah. You know what goes really good with birthday cookies?
Kombucha?
Kombucha.
I'm going to need another one.
Yeah.
I'm going to try this new flavor.
Earl Grey. Ooh, look at that.
Oh, look at that pour. You getting that pour? Getting that pour? Earl Grey. Oh, it's a little sweeter. I can smell already. Can we dip?
Yeah. Well, you ready? Let's try. Oh no!
Oh.
Oh no, Will, your cookie. Oh, I'm gonna get it.
That's sometimes a good thing to do.
Yeah.
With the milk, let it sit at the bottom.
Well, we'll see how.
Will, these cookies are delicious. Will. What minute are we? So I know Will shout out.
About a minute.
A minute or about an hour?
Oh, yeah. About an hour.
All right.
It's been an hour.
Right? 50 minutes with Feeney.
Wow.
And then,
that's fantastic. This is a really good cookie.
I like how it's not I like a lot of cookie. Like not so many chips, but that's good stuff.
I like how it's soft. I don't really like crispy cookies. This is really good.
Will, great job. Couple
You're
other people I want to shout out.
Oh, what else you got?
Today's going to be a fantastic day. You will do great. FYI, I believe in you. That's my friend Zoe. It's my principal, Mr. Dunn. Oh, you know, I think you know Mr. Dunn. Was he the principal at your school in Suffield?
He was.
Happy?
And then he moved over.
And he left you for
and
a
I think
better
that
school.
was actually, we didn't quite know each other, but I had volunteered for the, was it JA for a day? Was it
Oh,
the
yeah.
JA, right?
They do JA,
And,
Junior Achievement.
your junior achievement. That was awesome. We went into the school and taught the kids about business. It was awesome.
This is Lennox. Got me balloons and a candy cane. Happy birthday. Thank you for teaching us. You're the best. I hope you have a great birthday.
Oh my gosh.
And she wrote a magic carpet poem. You have a magic carpet that will whiz through the air to Spain or Maine or Africa. Just tell it where. So you'll take it where you've never been before, and you could buy some drapes and use it on your floor. Oh. That sounds
I
like
love
a birthday present, birthday card, flat screen, fine Italian sports car. I said check 1, not number 2 or 3. Birthday card. I get it. Check 1. So you have to check 1. You tricked me, Amari. Good one. Let's see what else. Thanks for letting me share these.
Homemade cards.
Be a good friend. Have a great B-Day from Annalise. She was my student last year. See the theme? Be a good friend. Birthday card. Oh, this was a good too. This is also Will. Be a good friend. So the directions was put a check on the picture of something being a good friend and put an X that's someone that's not being a good friend. So here it's saying, can you help me? The person's saying, sure. This one's saying, dummy. And this one is saying, hi. So I would X out name calling because that's not being a good friend.
That's not being a good friend.
Can you do me a favor? Yes. Can you show me how to get to the nurse? Yes. I hate you. Again, not nice words. Cross that one off. Great little fun little game. The Be a Good Friend book. Thanks, Will. Again, thanks for your cookies. What else we got? Another card. Wonderful card. There was a lot of jokes in here about early bird specials and playing bingo and my oatmeal being too hot and drinking prune juice and sitting in a rocker. Not funny. Amari got me 2 cards. That one was insinuating I was old. You get that? And then they're like, Mr. Feeney, you're 45. Your gray hair's showing more. I'm like, thanks, kids.
Thanks. Distinguished.
So thank you for sharing my birthday card.
Oh, that's awesome.
This was sent to me. Edible arrangement, chocolate covered fruit. Happy birthday, Eric. We love you, Nicole, Neela, and Bridget. That's the fam.
Oh, how cool.
And this is our 1 hour in. Now, if the kids ever watch this, they would see that I'm shouting them out. But the thing, they don't watch Dad's podcast.
Oh, no.
Real nice. Be a good friend, girls. Watch Daddy's podcast.
They'll go back.
No, they watched one. They watched number 90 with Keith Griffin, Deacon Keith. Because their friend Christina is Keith's daughter. And I guess they watched and laughed at both of us during lunch. So Christina, Bridget, and Neil had a good time watching us. Because he blessed the podcast. And he hit me with some holy water. And I was like, I guess you're supposed to say amen. And he hit me with some holy water. And I said, let's go. I felt the spirit, you know?
And they were just cracking up at you guys, right?
Let's go.
Right.
And then when you get communion, I say thank you. But you're not supposed to say thank you. What are you supposed to say?
Amen.
Did you learn that in the float? Or how about this one today, too? I learned, why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the village idiot's house. Knock, knock.
Who's that?
The chicken. It's a good one, right? Kid hit me with that today, and I'm like, wow, really? That's funny. First time I've ever heard that one, because it combines 2 classics.
Yeah.
The chicken cross the road and a knock, knock joke.
And
you're calling yourself dumb. Yeah. And I got played out.
Well, thank you.
That's the best joke, right?
That is the best joke.
They set you up and they knock you down with something totally not that you don't see. Yeah. Multiple.
Kids are the best.
Gotta love the kids. That's the greatest thing about teaching. I'm in my 20th year. Every day is different. Kids say the funniest things. They call me old, gray hair. Now they're like, my wife puts together my lunch. And they're like, what'd your wife make you for lunch today, Mr. Feeney? And I'm like, okay.
Last year, Mr. Feeney's lunch.
Yeah. Last year, I told the kids my least favorite food was chocolate chip pancakes. Every day. Oh, they would draw chocolate chip pancakes, put them on my desk. Or Mr. Feeney, look out, chocolate chip pancakes. So finally, if they took this SBAC test and they did well, I would eat chocolate chip pancakes. So they had to wait till like March and study and do the best they can on the state test. But I ate them, and they were gross because they're my least favorite food. I like my chocolate chips in like dessert.
Agreed. I don't like chocolate chip pancakes. What kind of pancakes do you like?
Blueberry.
Yes. Blueberry.
Only way. Extra blueberries, like as many as possible. And then put blueberries on top.
Do you mix the blueberries in the batter first, or do you pour the batter in the pan and then put the
I like to plop them in.
Yeah.
Strategically.
Yeah.
Maybe do a happy face, peace sign, you know.
That way you can control the amount of blueberries.
Yeah.
Because if you mix them in, you use all the blueberries and then you have batter left and the ratio's off.
It's all about the
One
ratio.
of those key things. Well, these cookies. Don't leave them here.
Ooh.
They're really good.
All right, so before we float, what do we got? We're floating. All right, so float, boom, boom, boom.
You're plunging.
Oh, I'm plunging.
You're plunging.
Dipping. Polar bear. Penguin.
Doing the contrast.
What should I expect? Lay out some expectations for me. How am I going to go? I'm going to dinner at 7:15-ish for my birthday. I'm going to Bricco. You ever go to Bricco?
Yes. So good.
Oh, my goodness. So my birthday dinner,
so good.
we have to go to Bricco.
Yeah.
It's a rule.
You
All our
go
special
every year?
places. No. But like we just went, I think we just went for my wife's birthday actually in October.
They're awesome. Great family. Just great place,
Billy.
great, yeah.
Billy's supposed to be a guest.
Oh, come on, Billy.
All right. So with that being said.
So expectation.
Oh, yeah. Expectations. Because I do have a follow-up question with the restaurant. I was going to do favorite restaurant, but expectations of the dip first.
Have no expectations, right?
Go fast.
Go fast.
Don't think.
Don't think.
Don't hesitate.
Just do.
Just do.
Right? So you're stressing out and activating your fight or flight response. So you can't let that happen. You have to get through it. So fully submerging and coming back up.
Can I stay under for a little bit or should I come up quick?
You can. You're going to want to come back up probably the first time. I think as you get used
You know
to
I'm a
it,
beast.
Hey, go for it, right?
Can I talk some smack or
Yeah.
I wish we could take the odds on how long I'm going to stay, but all right, expectation,
well, you
continue.
don't know, right? You've never
I'm
done
a little nervous.
something like this. Yeah, it's okay to be nervous, right?
But I'm excited.
Yeah, so you're in the sauna first. Sauna use is a stressor in of itself. So, it elevates your heart rate. It gets you into like that zone 2 cardiovascular state. And so your heart rate's going to race. You're going to start to sweat. And just when breathing starts to get heavy, you're ready to get out. Usually I steam it up a little bit to kind of pump myself up. I'm like, okay, let's do this, right? And I come out, then you plunge and you just got to do it. And it's a shock at first. It really is. But immediately coming up, it's just finding that breath, just deep box breathing. So pulling in from the belly in for 4, slow breaths, hold and out, right? So,
Okay, hold it now. Like
No.
that?
Nope. Slow, methodical breathing. Yep.
Okay.
So you want to slow down
Slow.
that response. Having your fingers outside of the water is really helpful. There's just so many nerves in your fingers that it can hurt, and it doesn't make any sense. So the whole point of the plunge is really, the benefits is from your shoulders down. So put your hands on the outside and you just slide in and get comfortable and just breathe and find a focal point. For me in the plunge, that's constant filtration in there. So there's a spot on the tank where the water hits the edge of the tub where you see this ripple effect. That's what just draws me. And that's my focal point. And it just starts to go. And as my plunges get better and that dopamine's going, I kind of like fall into that ripple. And it's really, really relaxing and beautiful for me. At first, your first plunge, you might be like a ripple, right? But it's whatever you can withstand. So if down, up, and out's all you got, that's fantastic. When you do this in a regular setting, you're doing it for 3 rounds. So that first round is tough because your body's not used to these stressors. It doesn't have those feels. So the way that we were designed is, we were designed to be out in the elements. We bathed in the creek. We, had fires and, stayed in huts where it got really hot, but then we went outside, right? And so the body has, you're activating different responses. So when you're in the sauna, you're creating heat shock proteins. And so it's really good for brain health, cardiovascular issues, can really help, longevity and disease prevention. But then in the cold, you're creating cold shock proteins out of the liver, and then just all the endorphins and dopamine. And then the 2 of those combined, going hot to cold is just
Can't wait. All right.
It's a superpower. So you're gonna love it.
I think it's time.
It's time.
Any closing remarks?
Thank you so much for having me on the podcast. I'm sorry that it took so long. I met you a long time ago, but being able to connect with you with all of the raffles and everything, and it's just been awesome knowing that you're out there spreading kindness, and that you finally get to come in and I get to expose you to these awesome things. And
So definitely check it out. Float. Your phone number in West Hartford is 860-819-2949.
Yep.
Your number here is, you want to take it away or you want me to?
You can.
860-384-0850. And info at float41.com.
Yep.
Is the email.
Exactly.
We're in Cromwell, and you're also in Bishop's Corner, West Hartford. Again, I highly suggest you check it out. You'll see all the benefits when you see me later and tomorrow after this dip and contrast therapy. I'm going to be a new person. I love the floats. Again, just happy to be here on my birthday special day, special float.
I'm so excited to be
45. We had one guest, John Decker, came on for his birthday. That was episode 65. That was cool. We shouted you out on Float, episode 22, June 8th, 2021. We got that's when I was wearing the Float shirt.
Yeah.
Check it out.
I love my Friends of Feeney sweatshirt. It'd be a good friend. I have one of the original blue ones with green writing. Yep, I love it. And we've got all the stickers. And I actually
Gotta
take
get your swag. Come on.
Yeah.
Got a hat for you too. Thank you so much. Get the hats. They're on the Square app. Please like and share our episodes. Episode 100, it's in the books. We're going to be at Playhouse on Park, February 12th. Mark it down. We hope to see you there. Live audience. Frank Whaley from Pulp Fiction, famous actor, real deal. He was in Pulp Fiction. He was in the baseball Field of Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can't wait. February 12th.
February 12th. I hope to see you there.
Valentine's Day week, but I'll be there. It's exciting.
All right, let's go float. Let's go plunge.
Let's plunge.
Dip. Let's say be a good friend on 3. 1, 2, 3. Be a good friend.
Thank you. Ready to come out? We're ready? Yeah. All right, let's come on out.
Got a nice sweat going. Sauna. And we'll just do.
Grab the sides, go all the way under, fully submerge, and come back up and breathe.
Let's just talk for a little more.
All right. We'll talk a little. Oh,
I'm
no,
kidding.
you can't. Do hard things. Don't stall.
So just stand in it. Sit down. You're going to get this? I'm trusting you.
Don't give your brain a chance to run. Just get in.
Direct line media. I love you. Happy birthday. Thank
Birthday
you,
plunge.
You are a good friend. Float41 forever. Going in, waist, then sit, completely go.
Yep. Do it quick.
Wait, now sit.
Go under. Come back up. Whew. Breathe. Breathe. And from the belly, slow. Breathe. You got this.
Oh, it's been about what, 30 minutes?
Feels like it. 15 seconds maybe. Breathe. Breathe. You got this.
Oh, the first initial was rough, but I got this.
Yeah. You can put your head back on here, settle in a little bit. It's a little cold to move. There you go. Just breathe. You can do hard things. 49.
Oh, it's my neck.
Yep.
Cold.
Okay. Too cold.
Cold in the calves. Cold in the blood. Breathe. Be a good friend.
Be a good friend. Do hard things. Get uncomfortable. Be a good friend. Oh, thank you for coming. You're going to have an amazing birthday dinner. You're going to run out of here, feel like $1 million. Superhuman.
What do you think, Steph? How'd I do?
Oh, you did awesome. All right. Fantastic. First one.
Be a good friend.
Be a good friend. High five.
Thank you,
yes.
Sarah. I encourage everyone to try this. Cromwell, West Hartford. We're flowing, we're dipping, we're doing saunas.
Yep.
It's good for your mental health. I feel better already. Let's say be a good friend on 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Be a good friend. Oh, get me coming out. Oh, yeah. Wait. Yo, that's great.